Hi, welcome to Robotics Lesson 1. I'm going to give you a general overview of things and of things to come. So let's refer to a presentation, and I'll share the screen with you. Okay, so this is a presentation I did called Introduction to Robotics. So we'll go over this quickly so we're all on the same page. This is a beginning class. We're going to cover mostly Arduino, having a working robot, and also toward the end of the lessons, we're going to have discussion about Raspberry Pi, artificial intelligence. So hopefully you'll find everything interesting. So what's a robot? Well, according to the best definition I saw, there are several, is that a robot is a machine capable of carrying out complex series of actions automatically, especially one programmed by a computer. So we're using the Arduino microcontroller, and also we're using the kits that we sell. And I'll show you that later. So let's go through this since I have the screen sharing. This is a kind of a cool exhibit. These are life-size robots in the American Visionary Museum in Baltimore. Interesting thing about these also is that they're animated, they move, their eyes light up, but no computers are used, no microcontrollers. It's all done by motors and gears. So in the definition, they say a robot is a machine that's capable of carrying out a complex series of actions. So the actions are not that complex, but they are actions, and they also move automatically. So we could consider this a robots. They're not very useful, except they don't do things like serve you stuff or give you information, but they're very entertaining. They're very, very well done. And the other cool thing about these, if you look closely, all the parts that are used are of thrown out items. So let's see, like looks like a vase. There's some piping. I don't know, it looks like maybe a toaster for one of the heads. So that's another good thing. Use of reusing stuff is the best way to recycle. And it's very colorful, artistic. So that's in the American Visionary Museum in Baltimore. And there's also the more modern day robots, these fingerlings. Huawei makes them. They react to human interaction. Looks like I'm skipping around here. Or maybe not. Yeah, and then there's this cat. There's a cat and dog, actually, and if you pet them, they'll purr or make noise, and they interact. One of the cool things about this, especially for like senior citizens who have trouble taking care of themselves, so they can't really have pets, but pets are a way of us interacting with other creatures, and it invokes the social aspect of us. So people with having mental issues like Alzheimer's, brain issues, it puts them in a better mood. So actually they do better because when they interact with these robots. So it's useful. And they're also very inexpensive. I don't know, like $100, $200, something like that. And they're full of features. Like here, the dog robot, it has built-in sensors, responds to touch and sounds, has a lifelike coat, It makes authentic puppy sounds, and you can feel the heartbeat, which is interesting. With your calming touch, and just responds to your voice with a bark back. So can I open this more? Yeah. And then there's these educational robots. There's a series for children 5 to 9. I've seen kids even younger than that play around with these. Basically, it's a you can interact with it with a tablet, and on the screen you see different objects, different colors, so you don't have to know how to read, and you can just see arrows. You see arrows and stuff, and you know how to press. And pretty quickly, young children figure it out and make this thing walk around. I've seen it in personally, and and they're programmable also. So very young kids have trouble with programming concepts, of course, but they can do some stuff. So this is by Wonder Workshop, and they call them Dash and Dot, and it costs a couple $100, so they're a little pricey, I think. But for organizations can buy them, schools can buy them, and share them with a bunch of kids. And this is one of my favorites. I'm of course into Star Wars. It's a little R2D2 droid. It's made from little bits. It's the product. It's a bunch of little modules that you connect with a magnet. Some young lady who went to MIT, which is considered the best engineering school in the country, maybe the world. She graduated from there, and she created this company. And this is just one of the many things that they sell. And the ages are 8 to 12 is recommended. And then you have the ones you may have these in your house already, like the Amazon Echo, Alexa. It uses artificial intelligence. And you don't think so because I guess we're so used to interacting with stuff, and we think, well, what's the big deal? Why does it have to use artificial intelligence? You just ask it to do stuff. Well, for one thing, it has to be able to recognize your voice. And then it has to take what it hears, and translate it so it understands it, so a computer can understand it. And then go search on the database and give you the best answer. So that's why the best way to do that is with artificial intelligence. So they have different algorithms for it to figure out, like, what's the best answer, and also how to recognize people's voices. And then you have this iRobot, which is somewhat useful, especially when you have pets that shed. I have a cat, and instead of me having to vacuum every day, I could run this every day. It doesn't do as great of a job as if I did it myself, but I'm not going to vacuum every day. So this is in between. One of the downsides of parts of this is that it doesn't have a lot of sensors. So what it does is it doesn't see anything. So it just moves randomly, and sort of randomly, and then it bumps into stuff. And somehow the program figures out which is the best way to get around. And so it's kind of haphazard. And eventually it'll clean pretty much all your spots. But it can get stuck in certain areas. And they have these little devices that you can block off so that when it sees a signal, it won't go there. So you can stop it from kind of getting trapped. And this is a cool one for kids who can't go to school. And I've seen actually now with the issues now with the virus, was it in some Asian country where they had a graduation, and because they want to keep people social distant, they had everybody at the graduates attend. I guess everybody, it was all virtual, attend using these little robots. and this has a screen, so you could see people could see you, and you could see them. It has a camera, and then has a motor, has wheels, and you can make it go around the room from your house or from your bed, wherever, or the hospital. So you could still kind of interact, and people get used to it pretty quickly. Kids see it around the school, and they don't make a big deal of it. Initially, of course, they do, but then they don't. So there's a lot of useful things. Here are some kind of amazing robots that the one on the right is a Scarlett Johansson look-alike robot. Some artist put it together. He must be a real good sculptor because it's a very good likeness of her. And it's interactive, has AI. And the one on the left is like a hospitality type robot that greets people. So it's a hotel greeter. The the one on the left, Actroid, uses a hotel greeter, speaks and has facial expressions. And you can look these things up, and they actually you'll see a video of them. So why learn about robots? Well, it's actually good for everybody, not just people, future engineers or scientists, to learn science, because science is important, like finance, or like marketing, or like knowing money and knowing how to read. The science is a subject that's important for all of us to understand, so we understand the world better, and and we can make better decisions, and determine whether our leaders are making better decisions, because we understand the science, even if we're not scientists. It's also fun. Making robots is fun, and it's a creative process, not just because you're building something, but also you could decorate it and make it, look better. Um, and what else? So we talked about. Oh, the other thing is there's a new frontier about these artificial intelligence, and the data mining and all that, with our phones and with the cameras, and it's going to creates these social and legal and ethical issues about what to do with the data, how much data should they collect, and all that. And the lawmakers are going to come up with laws, and people are going to try to push them to do certain laws that benefits everybody. So how do you make a decision whether the law is right or wrong? You need to know a little bit about how all this stuff works, so you can make a educated decision, and so everybody would benefit. And as part of these courses, part of STEM learning, which is science, technology, engineering, art, mathematics. That's what STEAM is, and STEM is just without the art. So the artistic aspect and decorating and all that, it makes it more interesting, more fun, I think. Um, and also one other big benefit, it keeps your mind active, especially for seniors. It's pushes your thinking in a different direction. So Bridgeway Technology is a nonprofit. If you visit us, bridgewaytech.org, you'll see a bunch of other stuff, other links to different interesting robots, stuff about science, astronomy, and so on. And the materials used in this lessons are